All right, so head's already highlighted, so we're going to go to orbits without, we're going to accept. Okay, so if you look at that screening form, what SAR level would be needed? What do they have?
Wire mesh implant and bone joint pin.
Oh yeah, they have screws in their ankle and they have a hernia repair. What SAR level would those be?
It would be normal.
It would actually be first. You could scan both of those on first level, high SAR level. Okay, so let's click no and accept. Now we're going to save and scan. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we're gonna right click on 3-plane loc, copy, and you're gonna right click paste. You can go anywhere, it'll put it after whatever's highlighted. Just right click paste. Okay, so we're going to wait for that first localizer to finish, and then we're going to use this for the entire brain because the sagittal T1 flare is an entire brain sequence. And then we're gonna tailor this 3-plane loc to just the orbits, and we'll use that for these sequences right here, the thins, which are thin slices with thin slice gaps for small structures such as the orbits. Okay, let's go into the next 3-plane loc. I'm gonna have you move that graphic toolbar up. So you have to grab the dark blue portion. Yeah, there you go, all the way up. Perfect. I want you to click right here, and I want you to type in 2.0 and then click enter. Okay, now we're gonna move this top horizontal line right over the top of the orbits right there, or the globes of the eyes. Right there. Okay, well, a little less. Perfect. Right there. Okay, so that looks great. We look pretty angled right there, pretty angled over there. Looks good. Let's save and scan. Okay, now we're gonna go into the asset calibration, and we're gonna just left click in the middle of the brain, and that's where we will receive signal, is everywhere we have slices. So yeah, you can left click. Perfect. Let's save, and let's turn on auto scan. This little guy right here. Now, basically this is RX'd, it's saved, it's prescribed. So auto scan will scan anything that is prescribed. So let's go into the sagittal T1 flare. Okay, so right off the bat, I see we have Series 2, SE2, Series 2, Series 2. That means we have our orbits localizer up. I want you to select Series, that little black square. Yeah, I see select Series. I want you to bring up the first 3-plane localizer. Yeah, so don't pay attention to this side, only pay attention to this side, okay? It'll make sense later on. So I want you to click OK All, and that will put it in all 3 planes. There we go. And now we're going to start by finding our money slices. So I can tell you right off the bat, this will be our money slice. We have that corpus callosum right here. Let's middle click down here and try to find our Hurley symbol, or the lateral ventricles. Going, probably one more. There we go. So that's kind of like what I like to call the Hurley sign. It's the lateral ventricles. This is the falx cerebri. This is our money slice too. So basically, we have this mohawk on the inside of our head that courses this way. Okay, it does not go right through the middle. So we could see it only on the top right here, because that would be right here. These are the lateral ventricles, this brighter portion right here in the middle, right under the corpus over here. These are those same lateral ventricles. You can see the falx cerebri in the front, which would be right here, falx cerebri in the back, which would be over here, and then in the middle are the lateral ventricles right there. Okay, and then there's this gray line separating the lateral ventricles. known as the septum pellucidum. So together with the falx cerebri and the septum pellucidum, it forms this line, and that's what I like to angle with, okay? Over here, this is the fourth ventricle, which is like right over here, but also kind of forms a line. So basically, we have our money slices. So we are ready to drop our FOV in the sagittal plane. So why don't we find the sagittal plane, and we can left click to drop the box. Okay, so now we're gonna grab this top line and move it down to right here, right below, yeah, perfect. And I want you to angle it so that it touches the bottom of the genu and the splenium of the corpus. See those two dark structures? So let's angle it. How do we angle? Right here. There you go. Okay, it's a little much. Keep in mind the genu's right there, so let's go the other way. Keep going. Right about there. Okay, let's move it up and see if it's touching both. So we can probably angle it to the left ever so slightly. Perfect. Okay, now let's center that. Let's bring this up to like right here. Keep going, right there. Okay, and now I can tell you right off the bat, we have a little bit of space in the back, but we're almost cutting off the nose. We probably would be fine, but just for quality assurance, let's increase the FOV. So now we're gonna move on to step 3 officially. We're gonna angle in these two planes, but I can't really see anything. So let's middle click to window and hold it, and let's bring it up. Over to the left slightly. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna click this drop down arrow, and we're gonna unselect update all. Now we can window 1 without affecting all of them. Okay, so now we're gonna do angling. So I want you to angle with basically that line that's formed by the falx cerebri and the ventricle. So maybe just a hair to bring that circle to the left, just a hair. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now let's do the same thing over here. And remember, if you grab that dot and drag away, it's a lot less sensitive when you angle it. So why don't you grab that and drag down, drag all the way down. There you go. So now try angling it, and it's a lot less sensitive. Keep going. Right there. Let's check that out. Let's go a little bit more. There you go. Okay, so this looks good. I want you to scroll up. Now we're gonna check our coverage. Just gonna check that we don't have any anatomy we're cutting out on the sides, or that we don't have any blank slices. Okay, looks good. We don't need the ears. Okay, so let's save that and scan, or save it because auto scan's on. Now let's click OK. For some reason it says we need to input contrast, even though it's already input, and it's a without sequence or protocol, without protocol. So not quite sure. We probably should have unchecked that earlier, but that's okay. Let's click scan. Now let's go into the axial T1 thin. So this was a full brain sequence. So now we're going to get into the, I'm sorry, not the IACs, the orbits. Okay, so let's open up the next one. This is saying that we need to select a coil, basically. Let's click OK. I'm going to click coil down here. We're going to select the 8-channel phased array brain coil, accept. And now this is asking, do we want to select that coil for the axial T1 thin sequence? Click apply. Don't actually click it. Or do we want to select it for the axial T1 thin sequence and all subsequent sequences? We want that. We want it to apply all. So we're gonna select that. That way this is selected for the rest of the sequences. Okay. So over here, I want you to select series and bring up the new sagittal. Or actually, I'm sorry, it's currently active. So in the meantime, we are going to find our money slices in these two planes. This is our money slice right here. We can see the optic nerves and the globes. Right here, let's middle click and highlight the coronal plane. I want you to plus over here. One more. There you go. So right here, you see that little dot? And that little dot, those are the optic nerves, okay? That's what you're seeing right here. Now in, I would say 15 to 20 seconds over here, you're going to get your sagittals, or at least half of the sagittals. When that happens, I want you to middle click right here, select series, and bring up the new sagittals, okay? So you can middle click there now if you want. And we will wait for those sagittals. There you go. Did you see them pop up? Okay, then let's bring them up. Now select series. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Now let's window that. We're gonna middle click, hold, and go down and slightly to the right. Yeah, that's fine actually. Okay, perfect. So now keep in mind we're at midline here. We can see the corpus callosum and the spinal cord, but the eyes are not at midline. So let's scroll up to find one of the orbits. There it is, but we're looking for the optic nerve. Keep going, one more. There's part of it. So you can see part of it. Let's go up one more. You might have to wait the remaining 20 seconds. So let's go back. No, up to one more. There you go. Okay. So we're going to drop our box now. Okay, so this is a money slice. We'll get the rest of them in 5 seconds. Let's move on. So let's drop our box in the axial plane. Which one is the top-down view of the head? Perfect. So let's left click like down here, give or take. And we're gonna use this line right here to angle with the top of the globes of the eyes. There you go, so let's angle that. Right around there. Remember, if you drag away, it's less sensitive. Other way. Oh, that works. You can leave that actually. Okay, so let's move this crosshair back to like right here, or forward technically. Perfect, right there. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to bring this square down. We're going to use step 4 for step 3 basically. So I want you to grab this square and bring it down. Right there. Perfect. One more actually. There you go. So I want you to angle it so it goes through that black line and the black line over there, or the black dot. A little bit more.
You said middle click?
No, left click and grab it and go out wide. That way it's not as sensitive. Yeah, there you go. And go a little bit more. Oh, okay, not a little less, just a tiny bit less. Perfect, right there. Okay, and we can double check by going down, and we'll check with the globes. So let's go down one. There you go. Let's add those back and see if that top line is pretty close to the top of both. Yeah, there you go. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here now and we're gonna angle with that optic nerve. So the reason why you only see one little dot is because optic nerves are like this, right? Now they both basically course diagonally, or at an oblique angle, but what we're looking at is series 4, which is series 4, the sagittal T1 flare of the brain. So in the brain, we angled straight with the brain. So all the slices are like this and like that, right? So if you get one slice over here, you're only going to get a little bit of the nerve, and then if you scroll over again, you're gonna get another little part of the nerve, and that's why it looks like that. Sorry, my cat like beat my hand up, so ignore all the cuts and stuff. So, okay, anyways, so what we're gonna have to do is, what I'm saying is we're gonna click here, so we highlight it and we can scroll through. You see how this one is highlighted? let's click on the sagittal. Doesn't matter what you click, because the slice is already dropped. Okay, so we're gonna have to scroll down to follow that nerve. So keep going, we're not there yet. We got the rest of our slices, and that's why I did that. So there you go, there you go. Okay, so we're gonna use those top two, the one above it and the one above that. So I want you to scroll back and forth between this image and the next one above it. And I want you to angle the slices with that. So keep in mind, you have to use both of those images to tell me which way the optic nerve courses, and then you're gonna angle with it. So we're gonna use the circles. I'd go a little less than that. A little less than that. There you go. Okay, so scroll down again. Remember, you have to scroll back and forth to see the average angle. So scroll down and then up. And then up. Yeah, you see, so that's probably a little better. Now let's go check the other orbit. So we're gonna grab that and we're gonna scroll all the way down past midline. There you go. Oh, so keep going one at a time. There's part of it, keep going. There's the other part. That looks pretty good to me. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to step 4. We're gonna do coverage. So right off the bat, I'm gonna have you add like 4 or 5 slices to the top. Perfect. Okay, so I want you to scroll down and let's check the entire orbit. Make sure we're not cutting off any retroorbital fat, the bright stuff. Let's scroll down. Okay, looks good. Now let's scroll all the way up here and check the other orbit. Looks great. So let's save and scan. Okay, let's go into the coronal T1. The next one, next sequence. All right, now I want you to bring up your new sagittal. So select series and bring up the new sagittal. There you go. Perfect. Now in like 30 to 40 seconds, we're gonna get half of our axials. You'll see it pop up over here. When you see them pop up over here, I want you to bring them up down here, the same way you brought up your sagittal. Okay. Now, in the meantime, let's find our money slices. So let's scroll down over here and find that orbit and the optic nerve. One more. There's a part. There's a piece of it. There you go. There's the other piece. And keep going. Okay, yeah, it's just those two. Let's actually use the other orbit. Let's scroll like up here. Yeah, there you go. Right there, and the next one. Oh, other way. Right there, and that one. Okay, so we can bring up our axials now. So let's middle click down there to highlight the box, and then select series to bring up the new axial. How did you bring up your new sagittal? Where's the select series button? Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yep, perfect, okay. We're gonna window that by middle clicking and going down and to the right. Let's go to the right now. Perfect, I'm gonna have you scroll down one image. Oh, I'm sorry, up 2 now. There you go. Those are those optic nerves we were looking for. So now we have our money slices, right? So now we are going to proceed with step 2. We're going to left click in the coronal plane to drop the box. Okay, you're gonna grab that line and you're gonna put it right through that black dot right there and that black dot right there. Okay. Now, let's rotate it. Perfect. Now, let's bring it back up. And I want you to put it right in between those two black dots. Right in between those two black dots we were just using. A little higher. Perfect. A little higher, actually. Right there. Love it. I was trying to put it like over here. So, now we're going to click on this. We have done our box and centering. Now we are going to proceed with step 3. I want you to click over here and we are going to click on it. We're going to scroll up and, or down and up, or no, up and down, I'm sorry. Up, then down, and you see that angle, no, so down one, this one, and then down one more, and that one. I want you to go back and forth between those two, and I want you to angle this bar with that average angle. So remember, we angle with the circles. I know, they're a little hard to see. So I would actually go the other way. I would, yeah, a little bit more than that, like right there. Because if you scroll down, or I'm sorry, up, you'll see why. Scroll up an image. There you go. You see that? You see how it curves up, whereas if you go down, it kind of flattens out. Go down one. You see how it flattens out? It basically goes like that. So, I'm trying to find an average there. So, now we're going to use step 4 to do step 3. I want you to cut like 2 slices off of that. There you go. And now I want you to angle with the front of the orbits. We could cut like 1 or 2 more off the top. There you go. Okay. Let's keep angling. Actually, let's scroll through and try to find a better image. So I want you to go down. Okay, now let's go back up. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, right there. I want you to use that image. I want you to cut 1 more off the top and try to angle that. There you go. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the optic chiasm. So let's scroll back down. Now we're officially on step 4, coverage. Let's scroll down so we could see the optic nerves. You could see them converging right here at the optic chiasm, right there, go back. Right here, optic chiasm, that X looking structure right here. And we like to provide additional coverage. I like to go back to the pons, so let's add like 4 slices. 1 more. 5, yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so this looks great, so let's save that. And scan. Now we're going to go into the coronal stir. This is also a thins sequence, even though it doesn't say anything. And we want our coronals to be identical, just with different appearance or weightings. So we are going to copy our X. See, copy our X, and we're going to copy it to the coronal T1 thin. And accept, and save it. And then let's turn on auto scan. And you are all done. The only thing you need to do now is to, yeah, perfect. Yeah, you need to check your images. Yeah, great job. So yeah, and then keep in mind you have to check these 2 once we're done as well. Right? So keep in mind you always have series. So series 3 would be the asset calibration. Series 2, that's that localizer. Every single image has those. So that's how you can always tell which one's up. All right, great job.